Rivers. They flow from the rugged mountains down to the wild coasts. They flow through alpine tussock, lush and dense bush, open pastures and cities. Whether in deep gorges or open meandering braids, rivers provide an amazing area to play, train, or simply enjoy nature. Whether tramping, pack rafting, or kayaking.
The untouched places these rivers provide are unbeatable, whether descending through the flow or the inherent beauty they bestow onto such places. They also provide essential services like powering hydroelectric works or water for crops and pasture for farmers. These dam and irrigation schemes invariably change the river environment, such as straightening and channeling rivers through canals, or dropping a river's water flows, sometimes so low that they dry up altogether.
So, how do we balance these two clashing needs? This is where the Resource Management Act, or RMA for short, comes in. The RMA was passed into law in 1991, with the aim to provide a way to sustainably develop our country while not destroying the environment. It aims to balance the ecological, societal, and economic impact of any resource use and extraction. Basically, it's how the government and council decide what rivers are allowed to be dammed or have irrigation schemes taking water.
The RMA is the overarching legislation. However, there are several other areas where adjustments can be made on exactly how resources, in this case rivers, are managed. The central government can also issue national environmental standards. Below these sit national policy statements and planning standards. From there, it is up to regional councils to take all of this and develop their regional policy statements. From these regional and city councils, then develop their respective regional and district plans. Each level contains more specific and localised rules, but still has to follow what is set out by the above levels.
Extracting or using resources often clashes with these laws, so when anyone wishes to extract or use a resource, they must apply for consent with the local authority. Now that you know how the overall system works, how can you as a kayaker, pack rafter, or tramper make sure your opinion or stake is heard and can inform how these rules are formed? Well, when anyone applies for a consent that may have what is considered an above minor impact, it has to be notified. Directly affected parties, such as downstream landowners, will be personally notified, but the respective council will also post it on their website. This gives the opportunity for members of the public to have their say. Any feedback will be taken into consideration by the panel or persons responsible for granting the consent. Whitewater New Zealand already does this for many applications that would affect rivers, but the more applications from individuals that support this, the stronger their argument. This process also applies when the central government develops new legislation or for the making of regional plans. Your submissions don't have to be long or complex, just an expression of your opinion and stake in what's being held to review. Having voices heard from multiple sides is crucial in making sure fair decisions can be reached. While often projects such as dams may go ahead as their economic value is needed, compromises can be reached. This is the key reason why many of the dam releases around the country exist. As the dam takes away a natural asset, the companies in charge are ordered to release the dams to compensate whitewater recreationalists for that loss. The amount of release days are often based on how frequently the river is run, so everyone's voice and submission can make a difference. Writing to your local MPs and councillors to let them know what your stake in rivers are can also affect what will get proposed in the first place. If an MP or councillor is aware of how important free-flowing and clean rivers are to the people they represent, they are able to bring that to the table when decisions are being made.
As whitewater recreationalists, we look after our places, whether picking up rubbish or ensuring that we check clean and dry to prevent the spread of invasive algae. So, let's make sure that our care and advocacy is heard up to the highest level.